Oh, it's on. So, check this out. Chris Jones just threw up a video basically about, it's called Bodybuilders Party 2. And if you watch the video, he explains why he's not hitting the clubs right now. And basically, it's just that he's in his fat mode right now. He's on full bulk, and he doesn't want to be that fat guy in the club. Which, excuse me, by the way, is hilarious because the dude looks swole as can be. But that actually led me to thinking about the difference in perception that we all hold as bodybuilders and how bodybuilding is such a subjective sport. I mean, they say that it's subjective to the judges calling at a competition, but even more in-depthly, it's so subjective to the individual mind state. And that really made me start thinking about the different comments I've received over the years and the different comments I hear other YouTubers receive about their own physiques, both negative and positive, and it's kind of crazy. Because, well, basically what sparked this is I was watching Chris Jones. He's sitting there looking swole as can be. I'm sitting there like, I'm jealous right now. Like, this is the first time I was like feeling these feelings towards another man. I was playing no homo on that, but point is, Chris is looking phenomenal right now. Dude's filling out a long sleeve shirt, all right? And I'm sitting there like, man, if I could just put that much size on. And then he goes and says, I'm not going to the clubs right now because I'm not that secure right now. I'm not at my best. I'm not at my most confident because I don't want to be that fat guy in the club. That fat guy in the club, he says. And I'm like, are you kidding me? If that dude, if Chris Jones, I didn't know who he was from YouTube, walked into any club I was at, I would cuff my chick real fast. I'd be like, what? Dude looks stacked. And the only reason I'm saying all this is to really get across the point of how differently we all think about physiques. Because it made me realize that I am the complete opposite. For me, I'm only my most confident in social situations, in clubs, at parties, with girls, during full bulk mode. When I'm pretty much barely keeping my abs at all, when I'm full puff. Because I'm swole right there. They're not going to see I don't take off my shirt and flaunt my abs at that point, but I definitely feel most confident just wearing like a tight shirt or like a short sleeve shirt. Because like I fill it out. I'm swole. My abs aren't the prettiest, but arms are popping, shoulders popping, chest is buff, back is wide. Like I'm big. And for me, that's what it's all about. So I was like, I'm most confident during full bulk mode. Why is he saying that he looks better in cut mode? In fact, I'm most insecure about myself during cut mode. A little fun fact, when I first split with my last girlfriend that I had, my last serious girlfriend that I had, it was actually right on the time of my competition. And it had nothing to do with the competition or anything like that. It was just our own issues. But for a while, for like 2 or 3 months after that, or like 1 or 2 months after that, I was like, man, if she could just see me now when I'm not all emaciated and my face isn't all sucked up and I look like I lift again, like she would change her mind there. Like I had that mind state going on. And it's crazy. It's the difference, right? The difference is what blew me away. Is why I made this video. The difference in opinions. For me, I'm insecure when I'm cut. I feel tiny. I feel like I don't even lift when I cut. When I'm bulky, that's when I feel like I'm jacked. That's when I'm filling out shirts. Like I'm an alpha male. That whole feeling, that whole mind state. Chris is the exact opposite. Dude bulks up, looks swole as can be. Most insane I've ever seen him right now. And he's saying he's not confident right now. He wants to be more cut down. Like, I'm blown away. But it's just pretty cool to see the difference in opinions. Everybody has a different physique. And it's the same thing towards Ziz, all right? Now, I'm going to give you my honest opinion in hopes that you guys can see. It's my honest opinion, not bashing. I personally don't think anything of Ziz. I am not remotely impressed by his physique. I'm really not impressed by his physique. To be honest, I love the persona he had. I love the videos. I'm truly entertained by him. And I get the whole principle behind Ziz. I do understand that and I appreciate that. Give him a big thumbs up for that. Myron. Strong Myron. But for physiques, people say he's the god of aesthetics. Greg Plitt is more aesthetic than he is. O'Hearn is more aesthetic than he is. A lot of people, even like IFBB pros that are less known, you might have seen on Facebook, Matt Acton, Kevin Lezak from Kevin Lezak Fitness on YouTube, he's more aesthetic. These guys all look better, in my opinion, than Ziz. But I'm realizing it's the look that I, Nick Wright, am looking for in a physique. I like that bigger, bulkier look. I like the wide shoulders, popping proportions. Ziz was more about just straight athletic aesthetics, basically, And what I realize is it's my opinion that I'm not impressed by Ziz doesn't mean Ziz doesn't look great. He looks phenomenal. for what he's aiming for, or he was aiming for, rest in peace. It's just not what my preference is leaning towards. Somebody else may like that look. That may be the look they're looking for, in which case, that's the pinnacle. I personally like Flex Wheeler's look, Ronnie Coleman's look. So it's all just perception and opinion. It's pretty cool to really realize this. And that said, basically I made this video just to touch on that. The difference is pretty insane. And to kind of ask you guys, just out of curiosity, simple curiosity, what is your personal look? What is your personal preference? See, me, I believe it stems from where we all began in bodybuilding. Me, I was 104 pounds my freshman year of high school. Most freshman girls weigh more than that. I was 104 pounds my freshman year of high school. I had 11.5-inch arms. To put it into perspective, my forearms are not that big. My forearms are probably like 14 inches, maybe even 13 inches. So my biceps were like this big. They're like almost 18 now. I was tiny. I had these tiny... I have narrow shoulders now after 6 years of training. You should have seen me when I didn't train 104 pounds. Dude, I was like a pencil. I had these long, lanky arms with no mass on them. I was tiny. Everyone referred to me, I was that tiny little kid. I was a little lapdog of kids on any sports team. So that's stuck in my head forever. So now, if I'm cut down, sure I look good, sure I look aesthetic, sure I still look muscular, even cut down to most people who see me, but to me, in my head, I'm just getting closer and closer to that horrible, tiny, petite stage that I started at, that I tried so hard to get away from. So I think it's all where we start. So where did you start? What's your goal now, and where did you start in comparison? Does your goal reflect where you started from? So I think it's pretty crazy. And that said, my main thing to everybody, again, was not dissing Steve, was not dissing anybody. My main goal to you, the main theme of this video, upon being curious about what your opinion is also just to remember, keep in mind, gauge and judge your progress on yourself compared to where you started from. Nobody else. The biggest mistake we all make is we all fall into comparing everybody's physique, including our own, to the top guy, to the popular Top Gun athlete that's on all the magazines, the Jay Cutler look, whatever the hot guy is on the scene right now, that's what we compare it to. And that's a mistake because we're all built differently. You need to look at yourself, take a picture of yourself when you first started, look at the progress you've made now. You compare yourself to when you first started, I guarantee you, you're going to look like freaking Mr. Olympia. Seriously. That's how impressive the difference will be. So, compare yourself to you and you only, nobody else. To everybody who gives me a hard time about not having a big chest, thank you. But yeah, let me know. Let me know where you started and what your goal is, what your look is.